Right, hi everybody, welcome to the Successful Showgirl. My name is Kitty and this is our Successful Showgirl podcast. So basically, each week we interview a new performer, somebody different who can come in and talk about their performing career, what they wish they'd known when they were younger, all the kind of tips and tricks that you need to get you started. So today we've got Kelleytigerheart. Okay, so thanks for joining us, Kelly.
Thank you for the invite.
You're all welcome. So Kelly, basically, you are a vocalist, aren't you? And you started out singing, but now you've branched out into other things like burlesque and things like that. Is that right?
Yeah. So I classify myself as, when someone asks me what I do, I just say performer, because that sort of covers everything. So I do. I started out doing cover music, just singing at pubs and clubs and events and stuff like that. And I have also sort of branched out into performing professionally as a burlesque sing and fling artist. And now I've sort of branched out into more and more. Every month I'm doing more and more, which is fun.
Amazing. So tell us a little bit about your early performing career. Like, when did you start performing? What got you into it, all that business?
Well, I've been singing since I was a little girl, basically. And my whole family, both mum and dad's side, is musically talented. So I sort of grew up around it all and used to attend my grandmother's gigs and stuff. So that was me growing up. I always said I wanted to be a performer, which was great. And I always did like high school productions and stuff like that. I never really thought about making it a full-time job. It was never really, I never thought it was possible, to like pay the bills performing. Mm-hmm. So I never really thought about doing that professionally. I just did it as a hobby, did it for fun, attended open mics and stuff. When I moved to the UK, that's when I decided that I was going to start looking into doing it professionally. So I invested in a PA system, and it went all well from there.
So what would you say was the thing that gave you the kick up the bum to get you started with your performing over here? Like, was there a moment where you thought, right, I need to do this, like this, it's either now?
So it was definitely, I was like, during COVID and after COVID and all that, I was working like these horrible jobs that I just hated. And like, I was never getting along with my boss for some reason. And I was just like, mostly hospitality and stuff like that. And I never really trying to study as well. So like, trying to focus on that, but I never really enjoyed what I was doing. And one day I got fired from a job for being sick. Because I wasn't very well for like a few months, and I kept taking sick leave, and she fired me. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this again. I'm so tired of like fighting with people, and like feeling guilty for like taking sick leave and taking care of myself and doing what I want to do. So I then went to the Universal Credit, and I said, I want to start my own business, because they had that whole like startup business thing. I thought this is a great opportunity. So I said, I want to start a business. Do I qualify? And all they did was like ask me about, what I do for marketing and if I am doing enough to make a full living out of this. And they said, okay, well, we'll help you out for 1 year. We'll help you out and help you get your business off the ground. And so I thought, well, great. So I invested in everything and thought, this is the time. I've got to start doing what I love.
Oh, amazing. So did they actually help you out with things? Like, what did they put in place? Is that something that
that absolutely helped me out. So they've got, I keep forgetting what it's called, but they've got this sort of entrepreneurship program where you can go in and you do an assessment. So they check whether you're viable to get the help. Some people say that they're a business and they're not actually doing anything to earn money. And every 3 months they would give you sort of an assessment evaluation to see how well you're doing and if you're progressing. They'll obviously give you the the funds that you need. You have to input your income and your expenses every month, which is a bit of a mission, but you have to do that anyway for taxes. So I thought, this is good practice for taxes and all of that. But yeah, they do help. And they send you a little bit of money every now and then that you can sort of invest into the business and help grow the business for the first year, which really helped.
Amazing. Cool.
Yeah.
And then, so since you started all that, what kind of jobs have you been doing? What have been the kind of things that you've been working?
So the most work I've gotten is probably through pubs, sort of around my area, pubs and social clubs and events. That was my main sort of thing that I've been doing. But I am looking at doing, more events and like weddings and stuff like that, because I think it's a really good industry to branch out into. Yeah, but it's mainly been pubs. I'm sort of known, I think, as the pub singer.
You've done some Pride events and you've done a cruise as well, haven't you?
I did, actually. I keep forgetting about all the cool things that I've done.
You went on a cruise for like months, didn't you?
I know. Yeah, so other than the pubs, which has just been like my main job, I got offered a contract to work on a P&O ship for a month, it was. So I was leading a band there and singing all sorts of songs, 3 45-minute sets a night, not one day off. I was very sick for the first week though, so that did suck. But yeah, it was an everyday thing and it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And I'm going to be doing it again at the end of this year. So
amazing.
And I've done a couple of Pride events. So Nantwich Pride books me. I'm sort of on their go-to list for one of their headline acts, and Crew Pride I've done as well, which is a lot of fun. So I mix my burlesque acts and my singing acts into one for those Pride events because it sort of suits the crowd.
Oh, amazing. So what's the coolest job you've done so far, would you say?
I think I have to say my first Nantwich Pride was amazing. Like just the people that you get to meet, and like you don't spend a lot of time on stage because I've got so many acts. So I only got to sing a few songs, but I got to like perform an act that I hadn't performed before, and I was really excited about it, and everyone just loved it. So it just felt really good to be there, and I'm so excited to do it all over again this year because they've invited me back. So yay.
So what's your worst job that you've ever done?
Hold on, I wrote this one down. I was like, I know which one exactly it is. One of my first ever pub gigs that I did through an agent, and she kept booking me in these really dodgy places. I did a gig in the Wirral, and luckily my boyfriend and his friends came with me for like a night out. But if I'd gone alone, I would have been absolutely terrified, honestly. The people there were just scary. But it was just like full of scary people that just wanted to fight with me. And then like and they kept like complaining about the sound and I was like, the pub is big, first of all, and I'm using like someone else's equipment, so I'm not going to crank it up all the way, because at the time I didn't have my own equipment. I was borrowing someone else's. And it was just, I was new to the industry, so I was like, oh no, I hope not all pubs are like this. So it was just very like, I think it's just one to remember, where I'm like, oh God, no, I can't have one like that again. Needless to say, I don't work with that agent anymore.
Can imagine.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest mistake you think you've made so far in your performing career? What have you learned from those mistakes?
Always have backup equipment.
Loads of people say this is like nearly everybody's biggest mistake. It's always to do with
like I've had 2 occasions where something's gone wrong, where I can't find this or something doesn't work. Like once my laptop just completely crashed overnight and I had a gig and my laptop wouldn't turn on, and I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do? So I couldn't gig that night, obviously, because I had no way to play my music, and I immediately ordered a new laptop overnight. And it was just so stressful. And then recently I had a gig where I was missing a cable, and it turned out that the night before my previous gig, I'd left the cable behind.
Right.
So I was freaking out, and we eventually found a cable, thank goodness. But it was just like, always just have like extra cables in your bag, always have like a backup where you can play your music, like have a tablet as well as a laptop, just, it's because those things can happen instantly and you just freak out, and it's not worth freaking out. Just have a backup.
I say, like, as a dancer, that's been one of the most stressful things about being a dancer as well, when you go into an event and someone else is playing your music, and making sure that you've got it on everything, making sure you've got all the right cables in case they can't play it on various like different things. Every time. So now I always contact the venue beforehand to find who's playing music, because as a dancer you get like DJs who won't play music and stuff like that, and just being awkward. And so I always
I've had nightmares before. Like, I've had nightmares of showing up to a gig and then opening my boot and realizing that my speakers are not there.
Yeah.
I know. Oh my God, what am I going to do?
I know. I would say like that is like the most common thing that people says, like forgetting something or not having doubles or whatever. Yeah. So what do you wish you'd have known from the beginning? What have you learned?
Well, I think believing in myself was a massive thing. Like, imposter syndrome was, it still is, but like right from the beginning, not thinking that I could actually do this for a living. I took the negative comments way too seriously. The constructive feedback, I would take it very personally and think, oh, I'm terrible. But it's actually just, some people are just trying to help. Got to understand that. But you just have to believe that you can do it. Otherwise, if you just sit there going, oh, it's not possible. No, I don't think I'd be able to make that much money. Then you're just not going to get anything done. You're not going to enjoy it. You're just going to end up in a dead end job that you hate and not have time to do anything you love. So I
think like the mindset thing is like dead important, isn't it? Like when you first joined our serial Showgirls membership, you were just doing like the odd singing thing, but you didn't have any, you weren't convinced that you could do it as a career at all, were you?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I had a lot of people like in my past tell me that either I wasn't good enough to like make a living out of it, or it wouldn't pay enough. And it was irresponsible and unrealistic to believe that I could make a career out of something like that. And I had people tell me that to my face. So I was just like, okay, well, I won't do it then. And I just do it as a hobby. I just go to open mics and, sing with other people and maybe write a song here and there that I'd sing to myself. But, once I started realizing that you can actually do it, and you just tell those people to,
No, I agree. I feel like once you start surrounding yourself with people who are doing it, it becomes like, oh yeah, of course I can, because that person's doing it and my mate's doing it and like this person's doing it. Whereas the people who are normally saying you can't do it are the people that aren't even involved in the industry or don't really know what they're talking about, or they couldn't do it, so they're making the assumption that you can't do it.
Yeah, it's true.
So plug your business. What can you offer people? What is your thing? What do you want to sell to people in the future?
Okay. There's a list. So obviously I do my solo singing. That's for pubs, clubs, events, all of that. I have my own PA. And that's under my name, Kelleytigerheart. So I normally sing hits through the decades. So just people, stuff that people want to hear. But I can also do like chilled out tracks and background music. I do a few like restaurants and stuff like that. where I'm just sit in the corner and just sing along. I'm also in an acoustic duo, so that's I find that a lot of people, or a lot of pubs don't like backtrack music, so they tend to hire acoustics instead.
Mm-hmm.
So I've joined an acoustic duo, and we're called 69 times Mellow. And he's someone that I worked on on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And his name is Freddie, and we seem to work well together. And we've done a demo now, so we're basically putting the demos out there and seeing if anyone bites. So that's 69 times Mellow, an acoustic duo. I'm in a couple of bands, collective bands, so Royal Valentine's Collective, which that's what we do on the ship. And the other band is called the Ultimate Party Band. So I'm their female singer. They've got a lead male singer. So I'm sort of their token female singer in case anyone needs a female singer. Yeah. And then on the burlesque side of things, I run acts under Tigerheart Burlesque. I offer a few acts, mostly sing and fling, which is my specialty. And hopefully in the future, I'd like to teach burlesque as well. So fingers crossed. I have done a little question on local Facebook groups, and it seems like people might be interested. So that's a good thing.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So good. What's your favourite thing, Kelly, about being a performer? What do you love about it?
I wrote this down. I'm always surprising myself. Like I'm always trying things, new things, and when I try them, I don't believe like it's something that I can do, and then I'm always surprising myself. Like I'm always like, oh, yeah, I didn't know that I could hit that note, or I didn't know that I could sing that song. And it's really nice. Like I've had a lot of people who have followed me from when I began singing professionally, and I've been told so many times how much I've improved as a singer as well. And it's just nice. It's nice to know that you have the ability to actually improve and get better. And
yeah,
so yeah, definitely, like being a performer, I'm always surprising myself about like my abilities and what I can do. So, and I just want to keep learning more and doing more, and improving more, because like it's such a good feeling to know what you're capable of. So that's yeah.
What's your worst thing? What do you really despise about being a performer? Have you got any?
I hate carrying around equipment. That sucks.
Yeah.
Like that's...
As a martini glass performer, I cannot agree more.
Yeah. Like the setting up and the breaking down. Oh, it's horrible. And just like, oh, dirty old man. Like, yeah, I don't mind. Like, for example, burlesque show. Like, you're coming to watch a burlesque show, you know what to expect, but don't touch me, please. Like, sorry, I got on video. I did a live the other day when I was performing at a pub, and I got on video a guy trying to kiss me while I was singing ABBA, and I'm just like, you can just see me like leaning further and further away from him because he's like leaning in, and I'm like, go away. So I just said in the mic, this is not karaoke, and just sort of like made him feel embarrassed. But yeah, it's just, don't do that. Don't touch me. I'm trying to do my job. It sucks.
How do you deal with stuff like that? Like, what would be the way you would deal with those kind of things?
I embarrass them. I embarrass the shit out of them because if you're going to do that in front of so many people, like you should just be prepared that I'm going to say on the mic that you're a dirty old man and you need to get away from me. Yeah. Because everybody in that pub is just going to turn around and be like, you got to leave now.
Yeah.
Also, like sometimes I'm far away from the bar, so like the managers or the bartenders they can't see you know what's happening. So just saying in the mic, you know, that this man is annoying, can someone please move him? Then someone will be there. But yeah, it's just about being aware and like once you learn how to like embarrass a man for being inappropriate, then you can just like do anything. Then I feel confident, then I know that I'm fine.
Yeah, I think like a lot of newer performers would be worried about standing up for themselves or whatever, but I feel like that's a really important part of your job to be dead clear on your boundaries. And if somebody opens those boundaries, whether you're
hired to do a job and to provide a service, and these people that are there, I think a lot of them think that because you're hired and you're getting paid for this, that they could just do whatever they like. But at the end of the day, it's, as a business owner, it's your responsibility to protect yourself. And you know, some girls go to the lengths of getting like rope barriers that they put around them so that people can't approach them while they're singing. I've considered it. Just also protecting my equipment as well. I had someone drunkenly trip over my speaker the other day, and I had to catch it before it fell on the floor. So it's just like stuff like that. Just protect yourself and protect the speaker. Then you're fine.
Yeah, that's really good advice, because I think like that's probably the worst thing for new performers, like understanding that you don't have to put up with other people's crap. It is like a job. And if you were in any other job and you were putting up with any bullshit from anyone, you would go to HR, wouldn't you? So you have to be able to either stand up for yourself or make sure whoever's booked you is aware that that's going on, because they have a responsibility to protect you.
Like a lot of people try and grab the mic from me, and then I say to them that I don't come to your job and sit on your keyboard while you're trying to work. And people find that funny, and it's also making light of making light of it, because people can see that I'm getting annoyed. But if I make light of it, then it's sort of just, it blows over. Then whoever did what they did gets embarrassed. The crowd has a laugh, I have a laugh, and then we just move on.
What how do you think your business has evolved over the past couple of years, really, isn't it, that you've really like blown up?
I would say it's about, it's not even been 2 years. That is insane. Like it's been maybe just over a year and a half. So like when I've gone professional.
When you joined our membership, that was like January last year, wasn't it?
I think it was.
So that's everything's really gone huge since then, hasn't it?
It's just picked up very quickly. And it's weird because it does feel like I've been doing it for a long time, but maybe it's because I've been doing so much that it feels like a long time, but it hasn't even been 2 years.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
But I've gone from sort of not knowing my worth as a performer to turning into someone that like believes I can try anything and like do anything, and taking on, hopefully I don't take on more than I can handle, but I think I want to be able to do things that I love and be able to earn a full-time income from it, and I believe I can do that. So I've gone from not believing that I can to actually earning it full-time. Like performing pays my bills. You're like and I'm fully booked like all the time. So
I always see you post saying how you're fully booked, and I'm like, yes.
So like I'm going back to South Africa to visit my family in June. And I've got 2 gigs a week at least until then. So
amazing.
That's like until June I'm pretty much fully booked. I've only got like a couple Sundays here and there available, which is great.
So good. Because when you first start out, it's so sporadic, isn't it? But now you just like know that it's consistent all the time.
You get a lot of residencies. Like after a while, you have pubs that book you all the time or once a month, and you'll always get something out of that. So it's nice to have, like this weekend I'm gigging at a resident pub that books me once a week, and they're like my favorite because they all know me. I walk in there, they all say hi, they all buy me a
Yeah.
drink, you know, they're all very nice to me, which it feels like a bit like home, and you know everyone. So, and it's weird to think that you're making money from just like socializing with people you know,
yeah,
and singing for people that you know.
yeah. What who inspires you and why?
That's a hard question, actually.
I know.
Because I never really like don't flatter yourself, because I feel like you have. But yeah, I do believe like you inspired me a lot in the beginning process, because like if I ever doubted myself, I would speak to you and you'd be like, Kelly, get your ass up and do it. Like, just stop sitting and like whining about it, just go and do it. So I think like you motivated
is that inspiration or is that bullying? I don't
motivation
know.
I don't know. Inspiration, honestly, I don't think I really had like one inspiration. I think I sort of inspired myself in a way, because I was just tired of living like miserably. So at the moment, like I'm starting pole dancing and stuff, which is fun. And there's one person that like really inspires me, and she's like, I'm really, really upset that I missed the Showgirl retreat last year, because she was performing there.
Yeah.
And like I absolutely adore like her performance skills and her Showgirl vibe that she's got, and her pole dancing is just amazing. She's just brilliant. And like I watch her videos all the time on Instagram, and like what can I learn today?
Yeah.
Like, please teach me how to be you. So yeah, I suppose that's like someone who's inspiring me right now. But when it comes to my singing and like performing in general, there wasn't any like one person who inspired me to just go and do it. It's just, you just got to inspire yourself at the end of the day.
I love that. That's really good. Right, last one. What do you think makes a successful showgirl?
Being comfortable in yourself and your ability, not doubting yourself. Like imposter syndrome, I know it's a bitch, but you have to talk yourself through it. And develop some business skills. Absolutely. Like, marketing is massive. Like that's the one thing that I appreciate myself on, because I think I'm really good at it, is marketing myself, especially on social media. Like I was really lucky to have really good social media skills before I started a business. So Facebook groups, I've liked almost every pub I could find in the Northwest area. And every time they come up on my page with any promotional, like 50% off a meal or something, I click on their page and I message them immediately. Do you need entertainment? Do you need entertainment? So it's literally just going out and getting the work. It's marketing skills, business skills. You just need to learn how to do that. Once you learn how to market yourself, I believe you could do anything, become successful if you wanted to.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think people think becoming a professional performer is about talent, but really talent's like a tiny part of it. I think
I could be like the worst singer on earth, but if I was as persistent and good at marketing as I am now, I'd probably still be able to sing full time.
Totally agree. I totally agree. I think like the talent is only a small part of the puzzle, but you really do need to know how to market yourself, and you have to be relentless about it. You can't just accept like one no and then be like, oh no.
Actually, Griff told me last night that he admires how, I think he said the word relentless, actually. He admires how relentless and persistent I am when it comes to marketing. Like that's how I grew my business. And he's like, he said that's why you are where you are, because you are relentless.
So what's coming up for you? Have you got any projects coming up? I know you do like songwriting as well. So is there anything coming up with regards to that?
So I am focusing a lot on my songwriting at the moment. It's one of my main focuses. So I just got back from a songwriting retreat where I wrote 3 of my own songs, co-wrote 3 of my own songs, which is amazing. I didn't think I could do that in a week. So that's nice. I'm currently also working on another single with Mark Gallagher, who co-wrote and produced my previous 2 singles, Afraid of Love and Sugar. And we're just sort of doing the finishing touches on that and making sure it sounds okay. That is called Gaslight Me. It's a bit of a cheeky song, cheeky, sarcastic sort of song. And my plan is to come out. It's one of my goals at the moment, is to come out with my own original album. So I just like to spend some time and work on that. Build the acoustic duo. I think I'd really like to do some contracts with Freddie. And then obviously I've got, at the end of the year, I've got another songwriting retreat in October. So that should help with the album. And then at the end of the year, I'm going back on the P&O ferry to sing with the Royal Valentines again, this time for 7 weeks. So I'll be back in January. So very busy. And then just singing at pubs in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously I'm looking at, if I can, teach burlesque going forward. I would like to do something like that, hold some workshops in the area and teach some skills that help people feel confident in their bodies and empower them as people. And that's sort of, I think that will be the aim for the burlesque classes, but it seems like there's an interest. So I'm hoping to start that up pretty soon.
Amazing. Oh, you've got so much going on, so busy.
I know. When you say it out loud, when I say it out loud, I'm like overwhelmed. I'm like, wow, I really do have a lot going on.
You've got loads going on, and like I've seen the difference in you in like the past year and a half, and I just think you've took an idea and you've just run with it, and you've just honestly like completely excelled with it. Now it's like your full-time job, and it's just amazing what you've done. And it's just so inspiring.
Well, thanks. And thank you, because like if you weren't there, I probably wouldn't have done it. So
you would have done. I just was a bit harsh to you and bullied you.
You did push me, so that's you. But you made me believe. The difference is you made me believe that I could do it, whereas other people were like telling me that's unrealistic. Whereas you like, no, it's not. Just go and do it. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it then.
And everything's unrealistic, isn't it, till you do it?
Yeah.
That's what people don't realize. Like the whole life is unrealistic till you go out and do it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been lovely chatting to you.
Thank you.
And I will pop all your socials underneath the video, so anybody who wants to get in touch with you about booking you or working with you or anything like that can get in touch.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks so much, Kitty.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.